It's St. Louis.
Welcome to the A-Train Show. And now here's your host, the A-Train, Arlington Lane.
Yeah, true chatter. Yeah, I think it's time for more true chatter. Born every day 100 new fake rappers.
5 o'clock in the morning, cruising down McLaurin. Headed to the crib, eyes heavy, got me yawning. We be on the hustle, gotta get it how we live. It's a fight to feed these kids, I ain't got nothing to give. Fakers call me selfish, quick to put that mad out. Have me quick to lash out, I ain't got no handouts. I want it all, I must admit it. It's all about the money and that's all I'm trying to get it. Overflowing with the hustle slick, she got the spillage. On my Hillary Clinton, you know it takes the village. Learning lessons, counting blessings for it.
Welcome to this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train Arlington Lane. Sorry about that, having some camera issues. You know, usually that happens every show pretty much because, StreamYard gets a lot of people doing shows and stuff and podcasts and things like that. So things are going to happen. You know, that tends to happen a lot. You never know what show that you may see it on. But welcome to the show this afternoon here on a Thursday. Got some things that we want to discuss today. And if you see the title today, it's based around the GOAT talk. And want to kind of decipher between the greatest of all time and then the GOTE, meaning the greatest of their eras or this era, or whatever you want to decipher it as. You know, kind of want to touch a bit on that. And it's funny though, because I talk with my co-host of the X-Fan show, Spurge, pretty much every day. And, he asks me sometimes like, well, what you guys talking about today? And I was like, when I tell him, especially when we get into these conversations about that, and it can get lengthy. It really can get lengthy. It can get crazy. And so, you never know what you may hear on the show. Man, we've been having some issues, and StreamYard has put it out there that if you can catch the show on the pages, that's great. We're great that you can, but other times it has led to issues where you can't catch the show on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're also on YouTube at X-Fan Show. So you can catch the shows there. And if you are tuning into the show, you can drop a comment to let me know that you're here tuning in to the program at hand. All right. And the weird thing about it is because, I have to get this show out there to others and groups, other different groups and whatnot. And so it can be difficult at times to make sure everybody gets an opportunity to check in on the show. So I try my best to get it out there as quick as I can and as soon as I can. And, it's fun. We have a lot of fun doing this. And I just want to make sure everybody get a chance to check in and talk with us, because we got I think we got good dialogue that we got today. And definitely want to hear from you, the people we want to hear from today. So get in on the conversation where you fit in, join the ride, join the conversation, because it's going down right about now. So let's get this bad boy rolling. I think we're ready. We said we've been having this conversation for quite some time, and we're going to have it today. The doc is in the house. Let's get him in. There he is.
What it do?
What's good, sir?
All is well. All is well. Chilling as always. How
Yes,
you
sir.
doing?
I'm good, man. Today has this week has actually been a very good week for me. Um, you know, we just got through Valentine's Day and all that kind of stuff. Got a chance to spend. I had a Valentine this go around, so
Come on, Valentine.
come on,
Let's
Valentine
go.
is in the house. Hopefully she tuned in. She said she was going to tune in today, so we'll see how that would play out.
Let's go. Shout
But
out to the Valentine.
yeah, the Valentine, the BK herself. Not gonna go too much into it just yet, but we'll give it time to deal there. I know you got your Valentine as well, your leading lady.
Hey man, 23 years.
So shout out to Ron Bailey. So 23 years. Hey, how many? That's that 23 Valentine days. That's your Jordan year, ain't it? That's your Jordan year stuff,
Actually,
right?
I don't really even celebrate it as much as I did before. Only because our
Okay,
anniversary is February 1st. So, and
there you go.
February
There you go.
1st, and then Valentine's Day right after that, and then Zayla's birthday is at the end of the month. So it's almost kind of like, no, that's okay.
All right. I didn't want to put you too much. I didn't want to put you in the dirt like that, man. My bad. I'm sorry. That's on me.
I mean, we cool. We straight.
Yeah.
It's 23 years. We done built a lot more than a one day Valentine's Day. So it's all
Absolutely. 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 All right. Well, we want to get to this greatest of all time and this GOAT talk stuff, man. You know it. You know this had to come today. Because it ain't really a lot going on. Granted, the NBA is coming back, but I've been really want to get this off and touch on it. Come on, man. You know this was gonna have to happen.
I've been
I
saying
plan-
we need to have this conversation for a long time.
and we here now. We're gonna go ahead and have it. And it's probably gonna be a series of conversations because I don't think this is gonna end at just one.
No.
It's not. It's just not. All right. It's funny though, because I was telling you before you got in, my co-host Spurge that does the X-Fan show with me, we have these conversations all the time. And he's like, what is the criteria? And you said it yourself. What is the criteria hold for that, right? For being considered the greatest of all time. And
Yeah.
so I sent over something to you, but he sent it over to me. And I want to kind of
And let's make sure we tell everybody where that came from, because that's not our criteria.
it's not our criteria. This came from Gemini. Okay. Google Gemini. If you go AI, So this is what Gemini says.
What Gemini said.
While it was once used sparingly to describe absolute legends, it has become a staple of sports debate to compare elite athletes across different eras. All right. How the term is used is usually reserved for athletes who didn't just win, but dominated their sport to such a degree that they changed how the game was played. Common criteria includes championships, titles, and individual accolades, which include MVP awards, all-star selections, and Hall of Fame status. Right. Then we got statistical dominance, longevity. And so those examples are subjective. The right answer often depends on which stats or era a fan values the most. Some of the frequent names in conversation: basketball, of course, Michael Jordan, LeBron James; football, Tom Brady; baseball, Babe Ruth, Willie Mays; soccer is Lionel Messi and Pele; hockey, of course, is Wayne Gretzky; tennis, Serena Williams, Roger Federer, and Novak Djokovic. And of course, the origin was popularized by Muhammad Ali, who often referred to himself as the greatest, and got to the point where his own wife, Lonnie Ali, later incorporated GOAT Incorporated to manage his intellectual property, cementing the acronym in the sports lexicon. So
Boxing wasn't on
that's
there.
Gemini's.
Was boxing on there?
No.
Boxing wasn't on there.
No. It was an example. We just gave an examples. It was examples. It was just examples, Doc. It was just examples, Doc. It's just examples, Doc. We can't go see. That's what I'm saying. We can't dare.
Oh my goodness. I just don't know how we about to have this conversation, man. Because man,
you know what? And that's what leads to everybody. This like that barbershop talk we have. Or you sitting around with your guys and you just, having these Come on, man. We had these conversations inside your office, and we would have debates. Come on, Doc. This is it. This is good for Black History Month, man.
I really don't want this conversation, man, because I just don't know how this is going to turn out. Because, again, even Gemini couldn't give us a definite criteria for the GOAT status.
And I think that's what the cool thing is about it. It's about us fans discussing what we think it is.
Okay, so let's come up with our own criteria. Let's do that. So let's come up with our own criteria. Okay. If are we gonna talk about per era?
That's what led to if you see the title, G.O.T.E, or we doing G.O.A.T.
So that's what I'm saying. So are we talking about per era? Are we talking about per stats? Are we talking about per championships? So I think that's where we having the debate at. We don't have a clear cut. This is the standard for, like, even with the Hall of Fame, we had this discussion when we were talking about the Hall of Fame selections.
I think it's all of it, Doc.
How do you qualify?
I think it's all of it because, for instance, if you look at Michael Jordan and you look at his achievements, you look at his dominance as a scoring champion, right? Was a 10-time scoring champion, won the MVP 5 times, won it 6 times in the finals. Of course, you all know he's a Hall of Famer and stuff. 15-time All-Star, twice an Olympic medalist, part of one of the greatest basketball teams ever assembled with the original Dream Team. You consider him a GOAT, right? Greatest of all time.
But he don't have the most championships.
And he don't. But if you look at the statistical package, the whole thing, what Gemini was saying, it would declare him as an all-time great for simple things. This is what me and Spurs argued about today. Today, before we even did this show, we argued about Drew Brees being the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Drew Brees, the New Orleans Saints, San Diego Chargers quarterback, being the greatest. I hope he's watching this and he gets in on this conversation. I'm not going to bring him on the show, but if he gets in on this conversation, because
let him come in. I want this. This is going to be the greatest show we've ever had in our lives.
Hold on. Let me when I put this text to him.
We need to have this conversation, sir, because again,
when you see this, I want to see what he say to this.
Denzel said ain't no right or wrong.
It says no right or wrong answer. Who's good in all opinions?
But see, here's my thing: we should be able to have some type of criteria. We got criteria for everything that comes up. Why don't we have criteria for this? That's what I'm saying. Like, what is the standard? If we were going based on championships, then we already know in the NBA who would be the GOAT. Based on championships only. And if you're going to deal with that, Jordan won how many championships?
6. He'll always.
How many did Wilt win?
Is it Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Once.
How many did Bill Russell win?
13? It's either 11 or 13. I want to say as a player,
11. I think it's 11. So my point of it is, based on championships,
it is 11.
Bill Russell will be the greatest of all time based upon championships. Robert Horry has more championships than Michael Jordan. So if we were going based on championships, then Michael Jordan would not be considered a GOAT. But because of the standard of all the accomplishments that Rookie of the Year, you're talking about Olympic medalist, you're talking about dunk contest winner, you're talking about a 6-time champion. You're talking about somebody who cultivated and changed the game itself. Michael Jeffrey Jordan will be considered the greatest basketball player of all time based on statistics only, if we were going on statistics. But then you have to put in an argument for a Kobe Bryant. You have to put in an argument for a LeBron James. These guys have statistically overcome some of the statistics of Jordan. The only problem is they don't have as many titles or as many trophies, just personal accomplishments as Jordan did. So to me, Jordan would be the greatest of all time based upon his statistics and the titles and the trophies that he's won.
Okay, so you say that. I will say to that effect. Golly.
Who else has done all of those things and more? Who else? Find another person in the league that's done all of that and more.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 6 MVPs, 5 titles, 6 titles, if I'm not mistaken. He got 6 championships of his own.
Does he?
Yeah. He won 5 with the Lakers, 1 with the Milwaukee Bucks. He's won more MVPs than Michael Jordan. He was the all-time leading scorer, career points wise.
Okay.
How can we go against
19 times? I'm saying, bro, this is what I'm saying. Where does the debate start? Where does it stop? Where is it? Because if it ain't Kareem, it's Kareem. The top 3 all-time scorers: Kareem, LeBron, Jordan. They're the top of that heap. What I'm saying is, how do we not consider Kareem to be the GOAT in the juncture of? I'm saying, but Kareem didn't do as much as Jordan. Was Kareem Rookie of the Year?
Was he not? Like,
go look. I want to see. Was he Rookie of the Year?
I thought he was a Rookie of the Year.
Oh, I don't know.
Did they even have the Rookie of the Year back
I don't
then?
think that existed at that time, because he played for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yes, he was a Rookie of the Year.
Okay, so Rookie of the Year
in 1970.
So he wasn't in the slam dunk contest. Of course, we know this.
Yes, he was.
How many? 19 All-Stars? Was it 19 All-Stars?
There is video of him participating in a slam dunk contest.
He didn't win.
Come on, Doc. Hey, wait a minute.
Okay, he's a 19. Ain't he a 19-time All-Star?
19-time All-Star. Yeah, 19 times.
Which is way more than Jordan.
Correct.
I mean, it's a great debate. Why is he not even considered to be in the top 5? As greatest of all time.
Had been on the defensive team 11 times, 5 times first team, 6 times second team.
How many titles? How many titles?
He's won 6 championships, just like Mike did.
How is he not? How is he not? No, that's what I'm saying.
So that's what I'm saying.
But if you ask somebody, to identify the top 5 all time, that he will not be in that top 5. Maybe number 5. Maybe number 5. They are not going to give it to Kareem as it relates to, because he don't have the popularity of his. No, I'm saying his stats ain't as popular as a Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal. Like you're not you're talking about, they got magic over Kareem. Why?
facilitator. I say Magic was the facilitator, Doc. And not to mention, Kareem was on the decline of his career when he won them 5 titles. So I get it.
I'm just trying to figure out how we classify this. How do we put this in a standard? All right, let's just change let's change basketball. Let's go to football.
Oh my God, that's even worse.
Let's go to football.
That's even worse, Doc. That's even worse, bro. That's worse. When I tell you, I'm gonna tell you why it's worse. It's worse because you got quarterback, running back, wide receiver, defensive tackle, offensive lineman, right? So you got all these different positions on the field.
So is it possible can we do this then? Can we do greatest of all time in their position?
No. You can't even do You can't even do that, Doc. And the reason why, Doc, is I'm gonna tell you why. You got to think of the eras, because if you sit there and say, "Oh, well, Barry Sanders was the greatest runner," because that's like the biggest debate of all, is running back and quarterback. You can sit today, Barry Sanders is the greatest running back of all time. No, he's not. Who's better than he was? Jim Brown was the greatest running back of all time. Okay, cool. No, you can say Walter Payton was the greatest. Emmitt Smith is the greatest running back. That's what I'm saying. And you got to understand the eras. Now, if you want to sit there and say Barry was the greatest of his era, they was like, well, hold up. Emmitt Smith was part of his era too, right? Jim Brown, you could say was the greatest of his era, right? That's what lead to the G.O.T.E talk. Because and not to mention, bro, not to mention, in 9 years he ran over 10,000 yards, and then my man didn't even play the amount of games that he's playing now.
Absolutely,
they didn't play 17 games; they played 12 and 14. And for him to do that in just a short amount of time, is that's what you would lead to.
It's just too touchy, man. It's too touchy, dude. I'm telling you, it's too touchy. Because the greatest quarterback to me, didn't even win a lot of championships. To me, is Joe Montana. But that's because I was a Joe fan, only because of the standard of I mean, to me, Joe Montana and Tom Brady even said it on the Rise of the 49ers show, the little documentary that they did, who he was the one who was commentating the entire show, said that I only chose to play football because of Joe Montana. So, like, how do you okay, let's go to boxing. Let's just figure it.
Can you even do that? Can you even do that? Can you even touch that? Can you even touch that, Doc?
It's hard to because you got Muhammad Ali, you got Roy Jones Jr., you got Mike Tyson. I mean,
Lewis, George Foreman, come on now. Joe Louis. We didn't never get to see Joe Louis. Joe Louis had the belt for 12 years.
The one who's 50-0.
Money Mayweather. I'm
saying, how do you do it? I just don't know how you could.
These are the conversations that lead to high-strung words, a lot of bad words.
I'm just saying, man. It's just hard.
And these are the things that get said a lot.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You know it, not. You know that get thrown.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying,
times in these conversations. That gets thrown a lot, man. And then when you're in your feelings, you say something like,
"Leave me alone."
I can't throw this other
I'm
one in
just saying, man.
because
I'm just saying,
because
bro.
I got it. I put this in the praise dome, and I don't want to put that in, but it's Derek Coleman saying whoop de doo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's like, come on, that
Yeah.
get thrown out too. And then it's just
I don't
so
know,
the
man.
criteria. So if we go do the criteria, we ain't even really spoke about who we even think it is because we're trying to still figure out what this criteria is. That's why fans, we trying to get y'all input in so we can understand what is the criteria that we can really truly use for GOATs. So I'm thinking errors. We got to say errors. Errors is then say all time because that's hard. That's hard. You hard. That's hard. Because it don't matter what we say at this point, it's gonna get construed anyway. It doesn't matter. It does not matter.
Yeah, I think errors would work if we go the greatest of all eras of the era. Then I think it would work. It would definitely work. I just don't see how we could, even with criteria. There's still going to be debate because people that didn't get a chance to see Jordan but saw Kobe will say Kobe Bean Bryant is the best of all time, is the greatest of all time, and then those guys will be challenged by the LeBron fans that say LeBron is the greatest of all time, and so like I said, every era had a superstar in it. Willie Mays, you know what I'm saying? They had a superstar in it. Yeah, right. Barry Bonds. Like, I mean, you feel what I'm saying? Like every era had a superstar in it. So how do you?
We can start with baseball. Of course, baseball back in the dead ball era and modern era, we call it, of course, we say Babe Ruth because Babe Ruth was able to do both the pitching and the hitting. So even now, even though he's not there yet, Shohei Ohtani is already getting into the conversation of greatest of all time as a baseball player, just to being able to do what he was able to do. He's there and he ain't even been around 10
probably
years.
Be hockey. The easiest one gonna probably be hockey.
Wayne Gretzky. Oh yeah, easy.
That's probably the easiest one we're gonna have out of all the sports. and maybe tennis.
On the women's side. On the women's side. That's it. On the women's side. Because we ain't gonna be able, you're not gonna be able, because there's so many greats. You know what I mean? And it's really difficult. Now listen, when you say hockey, people forget Gordie Howe was the standard before Wayne Gretzky was. Gordie Howe was the guy. First guy, 800 goals and stuff. Come on now. You can't sit there. People will sit there and say, well, Gordie Howe is greater than Wayne Gretzky. But Gretzky had it all. Some people will say Bobby Hall, his son Brett was a part of that group. Mark Messier. I mean, the list can go on.
I blame it on Gemini.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
We gotta blame it on somebody, man. Good Lord, this is crazy. We can't. We're gonna have to go by era, man. There's no way.
Exactly. That's how we got to do this. Greatest of all time is just because even for football players, would you sit here right now and say Jerry Rice is the greatest of all time? And we talking about over everybody. Could you sit there right now? Jerry Rice. If you look
is
at
the greatest wide receiver of all time.
I want you to hear the context, ladies and gentlemen, of everything that's said. I'm telling you this right now. I tried to trick him. I tried to trick Doc, and he did not fall for the bait. He didn't take it. He did not take it. He said wide receiver. He didn't say football player. See what I mean? You get what I'm saying? So, okay, if we're going to go by that, wide receiver, of course, the standard is going to be Jerry Rice. Number 2 is going to be the biggest debate probably ever, because there's so many that fit number 2. Terrell Owens, Larry Fitzgerald,
Chris Carter,
Randy Moss,
Michael
Irvin. Look, not to mention Steve Largent that just played.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Shouldn't-
Mike, hey, guess whose name finna be on that list? You ready? You ain't even ready for it. Mike Evans' name is gonna be part of that.
Well,
You know what I'm
no
saying?
fact. No
This
fact.
you see what I'm
I
getting at?
mean, I just don't know how you
We
would
ain't
do
even
it.
say
Hey,
pass
we
catchers.
forgot about
We ain't even say
Thurman,
pass. We just
Thurman Thomas. You forgot about. I mean, what in the world? Like,
and
I
running
don't
backs.
know. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we would. And then, okay, could we say we're gonna have to categorize
Everything.
everything? Got to be categorized. Greatest point guard of all time. Greatest small
That's gonna
forward
be
of all
hard.
time.
That's gonna be hard. You know,
Not really. Not really. Because
Look who jumped in. He's here.
There
I
goes
knew he-
Spurge.
What's up, Pastor? How are you, sir? I'm trying to figure out why I was invited finally on my partner's show that I've been broadcasting with for all these years, and now I have to get the invite from you to come on the A Train show. I'm trying to figure that out. How is that possible?
I told him to call you. I said, get him in here. Let's go.
So,
I'm just like,
all right.
how is this possible? First of all, Arlington, how is it possible that I finally get the invitation to come on this show? That's why the pastor is a
Come on the
great
show whenever
man.
you feel like it.
That's why the pastor is a great man.
Let's get him in here. I love it.
Okay.
All right.
So
What do you want my crazy butt for?
We trying to we trying to decipher the criteria of these errors, man. Like, how do we determine how we can get these errors to come together? Like, we got to do errors. We can't do all time because that's hard.
It is hard. It is hard.
Categorize everything.
Look, I think the GOAT
categories on this stuff.
Right. I think the GOAT talk as the greatest of all time has been misconstrued throughout the years, right? Like Arlington, before the show, before you guys were doing your show, we were talking about it, right? And I said, who is the greatest quarterback of all time? And I made a very compelling argument about a certain individual.
We said,
Pastor, did he tell you?
Yes.
I said for Drew Brees might be the greatest quarterback of all time. If you look, now think about it, Pastor. See, that's exactly what Arlington did to me. But we started to look at it, right?
Okay.
Now, Drew Brees is one of only, two men that has over 80,000 yards.
Okay.
Drew Brees won a Super Bowl. Drew Brees in his, what was it, Arlington? 278 games?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Through
280-some games here.
Through for over 100, what was it, Arlington? 128 300-yard games plus games?
It's a lot.
A lot.
So almost over half of his games, he threw for over 300 yards. But let's look at who he was playing against at the time. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
Ben Roethlisberger, yeah.
But if you go by Mike Vick, I forgot about Mike Vick. But if you go by what they say is the standard for the GOAT, he ranks in there as a person you have to talk about. And none of us talk about him.
And that was the thing. But also remember when we looked on Gemini, we saw accolades.
Yes.
And he did not have any. He did not have many accolades. He was an All-Pro one time. He was a Super Bowl MVP one time and never won a Most Valuable Player award compared to Tom Brady, who has more yards than he did. Brady won, 5 MVPs? 4 MVPs, I'm sorry. He's been a Pro Bowler for a long time, over 10, 15 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know him as a 7-time Super Bowl champion.
Right.
So in this case, how can you sit there and along these greats? I said it was Peyton Manning, in my opinion. But Tom Brady would fit the greatest of all time.
Correct.
In that realm.
So we all three got 3 different quarterbacks.
Well, who did you say? Who did you say, Pastor?
Joe Montana.
He said Joe Montana.
See, and look again, you can make an argument for Joe Montana. Joe Montana, 4-0 in the Super Bowl, never lost, had the greatest wide receiver of all time with Jerry Rice playing with him. So, I mean, you can make that argument. So the question is do you go by, as your guys' title says, do you go by the greatest of all time or do you go by the greatest of the era?
And that's the problem that we keep having. Because we have to categorize.
I think we need to pull positions. Let's just go with greatest at their positions.
Okay, so then if you do that, then Drew Brees is the greatest quarterback to play the game of football. If you go by position.
Wait, but then that would change the criteria because then
that's true.
So then if we're gonna go to greatest at their position, we need to look at titles. We need to look at accomplishments. We need to look at yards. We got to look at all of that combined as a total package and not just 1 or 2 little parts of the criteria.
Okay, now here's how I blow this out.
If you go with that criteria, Tom
Brady. Oh, it's your
show.
Go ahead.
3. Tom Brady.
That's true. But remember what I asked you, Arlington, and I'm going to ask the pastor the same question. So Brady and Breeze and Manning, they all came in that same era, right? Now we have 3 great quarterbacks in this game now with Lamar, Josh Allen, and Patrick Mahomes, right? The 3 best in the game today, regardless of how you feel about any one of those 3, they are the best in the game. So I'm going to ask you this, Pastor. Would you take, knowing what we know and what we've seen them accomplish as a whole, would you take Lamar Jackson over Patrick Mahomes?
No.
Would you take Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
You would take Josh Allen over Patrick Mahomes?
Yes. Only
wow.
If we're going on the criteria I just said, then no. But if we're going on the personal accomplishments of them, of what they brought to the table, then I probably would.
Wow. Okay. See, I would still take Patrick.
So then that's what basically based on the criteria. That's what I'm saying. If we're going based on the criteria of right now,
right,
based on championships, based on personal accomplishments, and based on the overall accolades of what they brought to the team, then yes, Patrick Mahomes will be hands down top-notch quarterback right now.
Right, of this era.
Absolutely.
Right. All right, so then I'll ask you this. Would you take Dan Marino over Joe Montana?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. So we're just trying to figure it out. So, like, you make a compelling argument of the way you said it. But, like, how can we not put Drew Brees in that argument as possibly one of the greatest of all times?
Well, see, that's the argument I had with NBA, because you have Michael Jordan, who has 6 titles, and the crazy part about it, he has all those other accolades, but then we never consider Kareem Abdul-Jabbar a part of the GOAT conversation, because if you look at it, the top 5, he's not top 5, he's number 6 on the list.
Right.
After Kobe, after LeBron, after Shaq, like what? So how do we? My thing is, let's go by position and then the accomplishments wrapped in that position. Maybe that'll work a little bit better.
And then Kareem would still hold the top spot. He would hold that over Hakeem. He would hold that over David, Patrick, and.
But would he hold it over Bill Russell?
Yes.
Yes.
Why I say
that,
because look, if we going by the criteria of the achievements, the championships, the accolades and stuff, all of that, he would hold that over. Bill Russell was never an MVP. He was
That's true.
Player of the Year, right? But he's won more titles than Kareem. But Kareem has Rookie of the Year. He has the All-Star games.
True.
He got the championships. He has more MVPs than Michael Jordan does.
That's true. And let's not forget, Kareem has 2 of the greatest names ever for a basketball player, Lou Alcindor and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Two of the greatest names ever.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's
Two of the
what's even
greatest
more
names
crazy.
ever.
So Kareem would be qualified as the GOAT of the NBA based on his statistics.
Correct.
But then my whole thing of it is then you still got Jordan that had titles and personal accomplishments that Kareem did not have. So how do we include that? That's what I'm saying. Like the title, like it's gonna always be something that's gonna offset the dynamic of which one is gonna outrun the other. Okay, Spurs, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let's go to let's go to boxing.
Okay.
Who would you consider would be the greatest boxer of our time?
So if we're going by the criteria that you've set up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Then unfortunately, it's not anybody that anybody thinks of. I mean, most people say Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, right? There's only one guy if we're going by the criteria that you set up, and that would be Rocky Marciano, because the man never lost a fight. No, how? The man never lost a fight, retired undefeated. Undefeated if we're going by the criteria that we're setting up.
What about Floyd Money Mayweather?
But again, so are we going by weight classes?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Mayweather. Oh, Andrew says Mayweather. Listen, you can make an argument for Mayweather, but in my opinion, if I look at it, and when I'm looking at greatest of all time, I'm also looking at guys who have transcended the game and who made the game into something different than what it was.
Exactly.
So
So that criteria just killed Kareem.
So
well, did it really though? Did it really? Because we never saw a guy like Kareem in the NBA. I mean, look, we had Chamberlain, but Chamberlain wasn't doing the dunking got banned because of Kareem.
I agree, but here's the thing: Kareem, Milwaukee Kareem,
Wilt, because of Wilt.
Right. Well, here's
Was
the
it
thing.
Wilt or was it Kareem?
No, it's Wilt. It was Wilt.
Okay.
But here's the thing: Milwaukee Kareem started the benefit of the transition of his position and his dominance. But it's not until he gets to LA, teamed with Magic, when he's
correct.
But that's the downside of his career. So
yes.
So it's almost kind of like, how do we identify that? But when we get Jordan wasn't even nationally known in North Carolina until that shot, and then
that's true.
Getting into the league, and then became one of the most incredible figures of the NBA during that whole span of the 90s. So, if you're gonna say the someone that transcended, then wouldn't you put Jordan over Kareem?
I mean, you would have to. You would have to.
Yeah, you would have to.
And I mean, but let's look at it. What other basketball player has done what Jordan has done? I'm not seeing people standing in lines for new Jordans. I'm not seeing, and I hate to even say it.
You mean LeBron James shoes?
I'm not seeing. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing people standing in line for Jordans. God forbid. Do you remember when we were all growing up? You wore a pair of Jordans. You better make sure you got a crew with you, because you might get jumped for your Jordans if somebody wanted them. I ain't seen that. I didn't see that. Like Jordan took the game to a whole nother level. Where now you talk boxing, Muhammad took it to a level, but then Mike took it to a different level.
Right.
You know, there's certain people like, look, I mean, in baseball, we had Babe Ruth for the longest time as the greatest baseball player. And then all of a sudden there was this little guy that made this really amazing catch behind his back without even looking at the ball and took it to a whole nother level. And that's Willie Mays. In my opinion, two of the greatest baseball players of all time, Babe Ruth and Willie Mays. Two of the greatest of all time. So, I mean, the problem is I think we can't just quantify it as a whole. We have to do it by era and by their position.
Yeah.
And as much as I don't like LeBron is this generation's
GOAT.
GOT.
GOT.
He is this generation's GOT. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no denying it. You just can't.
Absolutely.
You know?
And then that's what I was telling him. It went from Jordan to Kobe, from Kobe to LeBron. So you have the passing of the torch. We talk about it in wrestling all the time, of them passing the torch to somebody else that will transcend what they've already done. And I think I would like to, if we're gonna do that, then every era gotta have somebody that transcended it or passed the torch to the next generation of quarterback, of running back,
or players or whatever. Right? Yeah.
Right. That's
Okay.
what
Look. I mean, let's look at it. You had, like, I'll take Jim Brown as an example. Jim Brown was a dominating force, but what would have happened if Ernie Davis wouldn't have died? What happened if Ernie Davis wouldn't have died in Cleveland? Would have had Ernie Davis and Jim Brown as their backfield. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you had Jim Brown, and then you had that little guy up there in Chicago that, you know, had a movie made with him about his little buddy who died of cancer, Gail Sanders.
Yeah.
And then you had this guy, again, that would wear that sweet number 3-4, and he was sweet as sweet could be on the field.
Yes, sir.
You know, you had Walter Payton transcend the way that the game was played. And then, you know, I don't count Emmitt Smith because of the longevity of his career. Don't get me wrong, Emmitt Smith was a great running back, but did he really transcend the game and make it different? Did people really game plan around him for running backs?
Yes, because I was saying because remember the Cowboys, they don't win 3 Super Bowls without Emmett in the backfield. Seriously.
Well, look, okay, they don't win 3 Super Bowls without Troy Aikman back there. They don't win 3 Super Bowls without Michael Irvin back there. They don't win 3 Super Bowls without Jason Witten. They don't win, you know, without Charles Haley, who won 2 Super Bowls. So, I mean, Emmett was just an integral piece, but he wasn't that main piece.
Come on in, Doc, because you want. I can hear you.
I mean, well, they all played their part, though. I think is what makes the, and so that Dallas team was more of everybody doing their part, right?
Correct.
But again, we're talking about, if we're gonna put that standard out there, I think every criteria gotta have. I gotta have a certain, like, I think that's where we that's where we having the debate at, is the criteria. Where is the criteria, and then how do we set it and let it be the standard across the board? And you really can't.
Right. You
Because
can't.
Every time, every year, somebody's doing something greater than before. You know, we was just talking about the dunk contest and how dope the dunk contest was with Jordan and Dominique and Spud and all of them. And
God.
And then we had the debate of which year was the greatest dunking year. Maybe I ask you, Spurs, which year do you feel like had the greatest creative? Now, we had this debate already. Me and Arlington already went down this debate. So
We did.
Oh man, you know, I gotta say, and we haven't seen it since. But when Jordan jumped from the free throw line,
Okay. You said 88.
oh, you let me down, Spurs. You let me down.
You let her.
The greatest dunking year. With all dunkers being creative, everybody was just the dunkers, like, and both of us got our opinion. So come on, Arlington, give your opinion.
I said it was 2016 between Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon. He said it was 2000 with
2000, man.
2000 with who was
Steve Francis,
Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Steve
Francis.
Francis.
I ain't gonna lie though. It probably was the greatest final we probably could have ever.
You know what? That might You know, I was just looking at the one Jordan dunk, but Pastor, you might be right. That I've seen Vince Carter dunk in person. Vince, I was working at Melville School District, and do you remember when they were doing the Gatorade, have Vince Carter come to your school? And this little kid at Oakville Middle School won. And I was standing in the presence of Vince Carter, super nice guy, one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. And I'm literally watching this man dunk in a middle school gym. And I've never seen anything like watching Vince Carter dunk.
Okay.
And so you might be right. That 2000 might be the greatest dunking year. It might be.
And the reason why I said 16 is because of the creativity. I'm going to make my argument. I don't care what y'all say. I saw props. I saw a man windmill from the free throw line. I've never seen that before.
Well, hold on, stop. Rewind the tape. He didn't really windmill from the free throw line. It was just inside the free throw line. Just inside. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I mean, that year was dope with Zach LaVine.
It was good.
And it brought the hype back. And I still had Mac McClung in it. Like I still had that one like up there. So you're talking about 2000 though was incredible because after a 2-year hiatus, no dunkers at all. Vince come back out of nowhere and these crazy Tracy McGrady doing these crazy windmill spin-a-roonies and all this kind of stuff.
And you had a guy flying with a raptor on his chest to make dunks and posterizing people. I mean, Vince Carter really made the whole posterization of the NBA. It was Vince Carter, if you think about it.
I'm just saying, man. You talking about transcending places? That was one of the dopest dunking contest of all time.
I don't know, man. That Spud Webb, when it was Spud and Jordan and Dominique. I mean, listen, you got a dude who's 5'0", and he's doing 360 dunks. I mean, you got to give the short man his credit. Come on. I mean,
at the same time, though, as we sitting there talking about that, I remember Vince in '95 at the in St. Louis. You know, when they was at at UMSL, and they did the jam there, and being how Vince was going to be in a dunk contest in some shape, form, or fashion. That's how good he was then. And then when he got to the NBA, everybody was kind of transcended. It's like, we know he's going to be great when he get up in here. And all we needed was one good year to see him do his thing.
So the way I think though, and this is we should start establishing this now. What is, forget the GOAT of the greatest of all time. We call it the G.O.T, the greatest of all of the eras, right? And then you got to break it down by positions. Like
you have to.
You would almost right now. Like I mean, like what sport couldn't you? Okay, tennis. You can. Tennis is not a team sport, and there's no team position, right? And we looked it up. Right. The three greatest tennis players of all time: Roger Federer, Djokovic, and Serena Williams. They're the three greatest tennis players of all time. There's hands down. Hockey
and hockey is easy. Wayne Gretzky.
I mean, yeah, hockey. It's just one. I mean, it's there's nobody's done anything that Wayne Gretzky has ever done. No. I mean, it's just Wayne Gretzky's in a class above himself, right?
Absolutely.
But there's like certain sports like basketball. Like Michael had Pippen to make him better. You know what I mean? Pippen made Jordan better. LeBron had Wade and Bosh to make him better. Kobe, whether we like it or not, Kobe had Shaq and Shaq had Kobe to make him better. So for like certain sports, I think you got to break it down into positions. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy, that's gonna be hard too. That's gonna be hard. Okay. So I'm gonna test us real quick. So the greatest defensive end of all time.
Ooh.
Hey, as soon as you bring it up, there go Andrew's comment about players on defense.
Oh,
I'm saying. I mean,
you know what? I honestly think he's playing in the game today. Myles Garrett.
Over TJ Watt.
Yeah, better than TJ Watt. I mean, Myles Garrett is playing on a terrible team, right? He's being doubled.
Lawrence Taylor?
Yeah. Well, now Lawrence Taylor was that hybrid linebacker.
Oh, well, you know, kind of.
He was that hybrid linebacker. But, I mean, think about what Garrett is doing on the team that he's doing. Those teams are not good, but yet he ranks in the top every single year. But because he's not playing, I will say this.
Okay.
For defensive end,
All right.
he wore number 92, and he was the Reverend just like you, Pastor Bailey.
Reggie?
The great Reggie White.
Yeah. That would have been my
I would
pick
say
too.
He is the greatest defensive player because Garrett's still playing.
That would have been my choice.
I know this is gonna sound crazy from me. Knowing me, I know I would agree with y'all with Reggie White. Something about Bruce Smith with the Buffalo Bills. Something about Bruce Smith in Buffalo.
You psycho.
Damn it! I was trying to play your Bill Cosby. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, but I couldn't get it on my phone.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Wait, yeah. Call me, well, if you want to call me psycho because I said that, then fine, whatever. That's what Bruce Smith was.
No, I'll give it to you. Like right here, is Revis the greatest defensive back? Ooh.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
Revis Island.
Ooh. Oh man.
Hey, not too many people got through Revis Island, man. Not too many people got to escape through Revis Island.
Just think of that span that he had.
I don't know though. I'm still. I'm on the fence.
Look, okay, we thinking of great cornerbacks, right? Corners, right? Aeneas Williams would be in this list.
Oh, here he goes with the St. Louis guys.
He was an Arizona cat. Come on, man. What are you talking about? And even when he got to St. Louis, he played safety. So shut up.
Listen, I take Jason Sehorn over Arenas Williams.
Charles Woodson.
Thank you.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, I'm talking about Spurs where he said Sehorn. He said Sehorn. That's why I'm getting on him. Charles Woodson.
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders, yes.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not a Deion fan, but in my opinion, Deion again made the game the way corners play it today and D-backs play it today. It's got to be Deion Sanders. It has to be.
How do you not put him up there? I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't know. I'm confused. Everything is confusing me.
Listen, I'm going by your criteria, Pastor. I'm going by your criteria. You have to put Deion as the number one guy.
We gotta have to tell Gemini to put that as the criteria.
We're just gonna start it.
We got to figure this out. Because
I told you we were gonna be able to do this in one episode.
Let's go back to the NBA. Let's go back to the NBA.
Okay, let's go back to the NBA.
All right. Who would you say is the greatest point guard of all time?
Oh,
go ahead, Pastor. Give yours, because I guarantee
Magic Johnson.
Okay.
I don't consider Magic a point. Here's why I don't consider. No, listen, you can laugh all you want, but I will give you the reason why I don't consider Magic a point. Okay. You ready?
I'm catching it.
Because Magic could play every single position like that was him.
I agree.
Like that was his position. Now, you want to talk about the great, in my opinion, the greatest point guard, and he got shafted because he didn't like practice?
Allen Iverson.
AI.
Absolutely.
AI.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You want to know why it's AI? Because I've never seen a guy tie Michael Jordan up like AI did and make him break his ankles.
Freaking time.
I don't care. I don't care.
I got one person.
Who?
I got one person. But here's the thing. I have two actually, and one of them was not a point guard. He was a shooting guard.
Okay.
And that was Joe Dumars.
From Detroit.
He used to keep.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
If you ever go back and watch them, Joe Dumars put it on. Right. But if I had to go with point guard, literally that did that, you gotta talk about the glove, man.
Oh, Gary Payton.
Yeah.
Gary Payton.
So you dissed Isaiah Thomas for Joe Dumars. Okay, I caught that. Okay, I caught that. Okay.
Yeah, well, Isaiah Thomas is a bum, so who cares?
I put my favorite. If I had to choose a point guard that would be on my squad right now, it would probably be Kyrie Irving.
But see,
I can see that.
He wouldn't be considered an all-time great because that's the case. Rod Strickland should be on this list, but he'll never be that because he wasn't what Kyrie Irving is. Who was Clyde's guy? Who was Clyde's guy when he was in Portland?
That was Terry Porter.
Yeah, see, I like Terry Porter.
But he wouldn't be considered like you really got y'all. We finna toss John Stockton in the trash, right? We finna toss.
No.
Chris Paul.
If we were going to go with that, then I got to go with number one. Number one is
who's number one?
John Stockton.
Penny Anthony Hardaway.
You're gonna go Penny over Jerry West.
Jerry was a 2 guard. Jerry was a 2 guard.
Oh, that's right. Actually,
Jerry was a 2 guard.
Penny was great. I loved Penny. Because I have the old 96 game and I would play with Penny.
That's only because I was trained by Penny, so I have to kick a shout out to Penny.
Right,
Hardaway.
listen, we are forgetting somebody.
And Rolando Blackman. Shout out to Rolando.
We are forgetting somebody. You ready? And it was the man that made all of the passing what the game is today, and that was Pistol Pete.
You know what? Pistol Pete was a scorer, but he was a flash.
And he was a point.
No, he was a 2 guard. He was a 2 guard. He was
all right, greatest passer then. Let's go greatest passer in the NBA.
Magic Johnson.
Over Pistol?
Yes. Magic Johnson.
See, I put him at 1A, 1-2. Because Magic kind of copied off of Pistol, but took it to another level.
Yeah. Well,
okay, fine.
We got Showtime because of Magic.
That is true. We did get Showtime, but we're getting off point. Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying, though. It's hard to really classify it. It's what I'm saying. So regardless,
it is.
So now what we were talking about was players that we were impacted by, but then how do you categorize that? Because if you look at their stats don't add up. You can't include Penny with Isaiah Thomas.
No,
because he don't have the titles.
Right.
He don't have the necessary personal accomplishment. So how do you figure that out? Although he was a good player, like me and Arlington was talking about that too. I said one of the greatest quarterbacks to me never got a title. That was Randall Cunningham, one of the greatest quarterbacks that I love watching play. He never got a title, but
one of my favorites that never got a title, Warren Moon. I loved watching Warren Moon play. Now Andrew brings up a good point with the linebackers, right? Look, I'm gonna be biased on this one, and there's, in my opinion, so you go Ray Lewis. I'm gonna go by a guy who got his career cut short and who literally dominated a game. A man that only played like I think it was like 11 years before his life was ended. Holds the record. DT.
Oh,
the greatest. Look, don't get me wrong. Lawrence Taylor, he was high on cocaine every time he was out there playing. That's why he could do what he could do. That's when you could get high and still go play football, right? So don't get me wrong. LT's a great linebacker.
Ronnie,
But
Ronnie Lott.
right, but DT,
For the Chiefs,
the
really good.
the way that he could command a game, and even as being a linebacker, and you still he would hit the line, and he had 3 guys on him.
Yeah.
And then just the way that he played the game, to me, Derek Thomas, in my opinion, is my greatest of all time for comes linebackers.
Yeah, that's a good one too, man.
That's a really
Like,
good
I can't take anything away from Ray Lewis, because Ray Lewis was a great 2-time Super Bowl champ, an MVP in the Super Bowl, and all of that stuff. The problem with Derek Thomas, the reason why he didn't get a lot of that stuff is because we didn't really have the free agency at that time. So you couldn't really leave. You were stuck with that team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Lawrence
just
Taylor.
the things. Lawrence Taylor was great, but just the command of Derek Thomas on the field was a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Just a whole nother level.
I'm stuck.
That's just my opinion.
Greatest safety. Greatest safety.
Oh man, Ed Reed. Ed Reed for the
Ronnie Lott.
See what that's what
Oh,
Rod Woodson.
Rod Woodson.
what was Sherman? What was Sherman?
Sherman was a corner.
Cornerback.
Corner.
So we missed him off the list because
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch off the running back
See what I'm
list.
saying?
Right. So I think you got to go. Like, you got to go. Here's the thing. I think, like, if you go with the greatest of all time, there can't be somebody that's of equal or greater value than you in that at that time.
Right.
So, like in soccer, I know we looked it up. It said it was Messi and then Pele. Okay, but who else is playing at the same time that Messi's playing? There's that other little guy named Ronaldo, who's just a little bit okay.
Yeah.
So can Messi be the GOAT of soccer? Because he's got somebody who is equal or greater than him. So, I mean, do we look at it that way?
How do we get to at least some type of criteria that we can stick with?
We go it by era. That's it. No more of all time, just era.
But if we do it by era, what is going to be the standard for that? Because are we going to talk about positions? Are we gonna like, so even if you do it by era, then Jordan would top notch be the greatest of that era.
The 90s, hands down. Yes. And I would put Kobe, if you go by that, I'd put Kobe as the greatest player of the 2000s.
Yeah.
And if you go now in today's game, I mean, listen, you can make an argument for some other players, maybe like Steph Curry as being one of the greatest of all times of this era. But if you look, I mean, if we go by what you said, Pastor, earlier,
all time.
Right. If we go by what you say of the longevity, the titles, and all of that stuff, then yeah, you would go with LeBron for this era as the greatest of all time. So maybe we should start doing it, instead of saying the GOAT of all time, we start saying it's the greatest of that era.
Okay.
I think that's how you should do it. But I got to get back to work.
Okay.
And go drive my little kids around. Can you believe that, Pastor? Somebody trusts me driving their children around in a school bus.
Sitting in the car. I usually have to stop too. So I'm like, okay, let me stop. Because I'll be right
Well,
here.
yeah, I don't want work to know if I'm sitting here driving around doing a show. I don't want them to see so I pulled over right before I go to work. So,
man, thank you for jumping in on the conversation, because we were sitting here having it. And,
well, Pastor, I am honored that you invited me on after all of these years of the A-Train show, that my own partner that I broadcasted with for 8 years now has never invited me on his show. So I want to thank you for doing that.
Shut up! Tell me who the number is.
Goodbye, sir. See you tonight.
Goodbye. Kick me out. Bye, Pastor.
See you later, man.
him out of here, man. He'll be as much as he sit there and talk. He know he got an open door. He can come in whenever he want to. He does any other time.
It's a really interesting conversation, though, bro. I mean,
That's
you think
exactly
about
what I was going for. Because what we didn't even go by was even in wrestling, who we consider the greatest. We can say John Cena all day, but you know who has impact, game changed, and all that kind of stuff.
But
You know
would
what I mean?
John Cena be the greatest of all time?
That's the thing.
What made him the greatest of all time? Because of the 17 titles? Well, if that's the case, then Ric Flair had 17 before him.
He had 16, yeah.
Held the belt longer.
Yeah.
Went through multiple factions and multiple companies and still held the title. So
yeah,
Ric Flair would be, if you want to say, the greatest wrestler of all time. Who else would it be?
Not Spurs look like he want to come back in on that one. I'm looking at him. He's like, He's flicking me off in the background. You can't.
Who else would it be?
You know he want to get in.
I mean, but we got eras. We got eras of it.
You want to put you in? Yes. No. Maybe so. Go ahead. Speak your piece.
It's hands down John Cena.
See, I knew he was gonna say that.
And listen. Ask Arlington. I hate John Cena.
You can't stand him.
I hate him. I hate him. But here's why you got to say John Cena. If John Cena wasn't on the card, the building didn't sell out. John Cena made money. John Cena made money, right? Made money, hand over fist. Even though he is a 17-time champion, it's all the stuff that John Cena did with the money that he made and stuff like that. I mean, you're not on top. Listen, you're not on top for that long, for 25 plus years as a face of a company. Even Hogan couldn't even do that. Even Flair couldn't do that. And as much as I love Ric Flair, my opinion, Flair is the greatest.
Hey.
But if you look at the accomplishments, it's John Cena, hands down.
The reason why.
All right, I'm back at work. Kick me out.
All right. So wait a minute, because it reminded me of that documentary that I think was it Netflix that put out about WrestleMania 6. I think that was the one that was in Vegas.
Okay.
And Hogan wasn't even. They had to throw Hogan on to see if they can get some more tickets. Mm-hmm. And even with the addition of Hogan, it didn't work. Whereas with John Cena, like him showing up at Money in the Bank, you know, that time with Roman, and then you say I'm coming at the title, brought more tickets into the fold. So I can see where he's coming from with that.
But then that's after an era of the Attitude.
I thought you was
It was WrestleMania. No, I'm leaving now. It was WrestleMania 9.
9. Okay.
But see,
WrestleMania 9.
John Cena is after an era. He's after an era of who you had. You had Stone Cold, you had The Rock, you had Triple H. So he was after an era that was already pretty much kind of changing the culture of the game at that time. So again, we talking about eras. So you would make Ric Flair, and then it'll go to Hogan, and then from Hogan it'll go to who from that point, because Hogan held it for the longest until
what was that? That passing of the torch at WrestleMania. What was that? 18 with Rock and Hogan.
With Brock Lesnar.
No, with the Hogan and Rock when they had that.
Oh yeah, right. So the Rock. So that's what I'm saying. So it'll go to the Rock. The Rock again to some Stone Cold. Stone Cold again to Triple H. Triple H. Now what I'm saying is it just goes from one place to another. We can make healthy arguments about particular eras, because to me, the Attitude Era was that era that we needed dominance, and between The Rock and Stone Cold, it made WWE like really, really transcend in that doing that Monday Night War, you know, with WCW. So to me, you have to, and although I understand John Cena, his longevity, his clout with the crowd. You know, he didn't have the pop at the beginning, but he started kind of growing on people after Thugonomics, and then he changed to the loyalty.
He got the
you know,
respect. He did.
Yeah,
respect.
right.
Yeah.
So once he had that match with Kurt Angle, it changed the dynamics of what he was doing and how to market him. So I think one of the greatest wrestlers we could have had that did not live long enough, to me, was Eddie Guerrero. You know, Eddie Guerrero, or even a Bray Wyatt. We could have seen Bray Wyatt take this company to a whole nother place. So again, we talking about era. If we're gonna go with the era, then of course Ric Flair would take it, and then Hogan will take it from there, and then you can make debates between Rock, Stone Cold, and then you get Cena, and then now Roman. You know. I mean, but heck, you got to throw Brock Lesnar in there somewhere. You got Roman Reigns somewhere in that. So again, how do you determine if we only going by championships only? The one who held it the longest was Ric Flair.
It's gonna be,
and then you have to group Ric Flair and John Cena in it because they held the most. You feel what I'm saying? So how do you? I
mean, you can't decipher. Even though
we forgot about the Undertaker,
Roman. And that's the thing. That's the thing with the streak and stuff, man. Like,
yeah,
that's hard. That's really because that's an era where all of them were put in one place. But did Undertaker transcend the business compared to what The Rock was able to do from Hogan? Even with Hogan. Remember, Hogan was doing movies. I don't remember Undertaker ever being in a film. I don't even know he wanted to be in a film. You know what I mean? So The Rock was that type of superstar that they could market, where he could do films and stuff. And then people behind him, the Stone Colds, the Triple H's, and with led to
Randy Orton.
And even with those guys, they were superseded by John Cena.
Absolutely.
Because Cena became the guy to take over with the big role films and action and comedy and dramatic roles and villains and all that kind of stuff. Whereas
it's just a hard debate, man. It's really a hard debate without criteria. And I'm wondering if we don't ever get a chance to put criteria to it, how do you classify this whole thing outside of us just saying the greatest of that era?
I think when it comes to criterias, man, we got to look at the whole package, and that's the thing that gets construed so much, is that what do we determine as the criteria? Because the criteria has been given. Media has their own criteria. We have our own criteria. The players themselves, athletes, have their own criteria. And so that's what makes it difficult for all of us to determine what is the criteria.
Right.
Because we all have different opinion on what we believe is the criteria for it. You saw Gemini, what they had with their criteria.
Right.
And so, and they make mistakes just like you and I do. And I think that's what the fun of these types of conversations. Granted, it can go beyond an exuberance and it get out of control, but at the same time, that's the cool thing about it. Why we have these conversations, why we think our favorite players or players that we've seen in our lifetime are considered the greatest over the others. And so that's kind of the dynamic with that, and it's difficult. It's definitely difficult. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Because and then you gotta kill personal preference if you're gonna do that.
It's hard to do that.
That's what I'm saying. But I think that's what happened even with the Hall of Fame, right? It's personal preference over statistics. So if we're going with statistics and we're looking at overall statistics, again, the debate, you might well go ahead and take Bill Russell out of the equation, because statistically, the only two people that would measure up to the GOAT status of the NBA would be Michael Jordan and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Statistically, based on all the things that they've done, statistically,
the criteria. Yeah, the
Right. So that's what I'm
awards, the stats,
exactly.
the dominance
Exactly.
during their time and eras and stuff
Exactly.
like that.
Exactly.
You would have to look at it because I think over a 10-year period, Kareem won 6 MVPs. That's pretty dominant when you look at that. Of course, with Michael Jordan, the 6 championships that he had over that time, there was dominance. You know, with LeBron James, you can't really even say that as much. You can say what twice did it happen with the Miami Heat. It didn't happen with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It had to make a comeback to get to that title, and not to mention, was it the one we had with the Lakers? You consider that the bubble. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
the bubble, right.
um,
And then not to mention they'll try to throw him in there because of how many times they've gotten to the finals but did not win it, right? Because the times in Cleveland getting all the way to the finals, playing, multiple times getting to the finals but never crossing that line. I mean, and then you got to consider it's always players that you play with, because we don't have a Joe Montana without a Jerry Rice, without a Clark, without a Ronnie Lott, without a Roger Craig,
yeah,
right? Without a Charles Haley. You don't have those. You don't get those particular titles without that. Then coming in, moving from Joe Montana, getting a Steve Young, and still having those qualified players, you give yourself a chance. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at the end of the day, I think it just really depends on who you're playing with, because Detroit had that Detroit team for the longest and couldn't get over the hump with Magic, couldn't get over the hump with Jordan, and then finally decided that they could get over the hump, and they ended up winning. Right. So the dynamics is just who you're playing with and who you're playing against. Now, the only thing I would make a debate about is that Jordan had Pippen. Sure enough. However, it was the other role players that helped Jordan win. It was the Craig Hodges and the Paxson, those guys hitting jumpers when it was critical and crucial for the team to get ahead, helping Jordan out in those moments like that. And then you're going to get a Dennis Rodman. You're going to get a what's my boy? I was about to say that wore the goggles that came from Orlando. Horace Grant. Getting a Horace Grant. You know what I'm saying? Like, so having those players come in, Bill Laimbeer, then you getting a Tony Kukoc. You know what I'm saying? So you have to consider who you're playing with in order to understand the GOAT status. And so, I mean, all of that matters, because we don't talk about Kareem without a Magic, because Magic helped Kareem get those titles. So, I mean, unfortunately, the debate can be flawed a bit, if for lack of a better word.
Yeah, exactly. Woof. You know what? We came to a conclusion that we're just gonna have to talk eras. I think that's how we're gonna have to move this. And then in the era themselves, like, do we talk about the years that the decades themselves? And then, like, we try to do the positions, and those are hard too. Those are hard because
I was thinking about centers, greatest centers
in NBA.
Yeah.
Hakeem, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bill Chamberlain, Bill Russell, George Mikan. See, we didn't even throw his name out there. George Mikan's probably one of the centers that got everything kind of started, man.
Yeah, No, yeah.
Yao was an impact, but not to the degree of. He was an all-star. And he was a Hall of Famer too. So it's like, can't deny him. Can't really deny him.
Mutombo.
Oh my gosh, Alonzo Mourning.
I mean, what do you do with, because wasn't Bill a center? Wasn't Wilt a center during their eras? That's my point. So how do you do it?
We said Shaq, of course.
Yep. How do you do it? How do you do
hard. Like, even, it's another thing that's hard is the power forward position. Tim Duncan, Karl Malone, Kevin Garnett,
Glenn Robinson.
before he got hurt, boy, I'm telling you, he was on that path.
No, it's the shooting guard position that's horrible. Because
It's
it's
so
people
many.
on
So many.
it's people on there. If they wouldn't have got hurt, it was a wrap.
Brandon Roy would have been an
Brandon
all-time.
Roy.
Would have
Do
been an
you hear
all-time
me?
great.
Brandon Roy. Shout out to Brandon Roy. Listen, if Brandon Roy wouldn't have gotten hurt, I can guarantee you
That wouldn't be Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard wouldn't have been a part of that team.
Nope. Brandon
Guaranteed.
Roy would have taken us to a whole nother. And you talk about somebody that was in the era of Kobe. So would we be talking about Kobe as much?
Kobe said that Brandon Roy is one of the toughest people to guard. And I sat there and I was like, wow, Doc. Wow, Doc. Wow, Doc.
Hey, man. Brandon Roy. Me and TB always talking about Brandon Roy. If he stayed healthy, that would have probably been probably the coldest shooting guard that we had in the league at the time.
Mike even said Mitch Richmond was a hard person to play against. And that's a tough two guard. My man did some shooting.
Oh, yeah.
We need to mention Tim Hardaway in the top point guards of all time.
Oh, my God. I forgot about him.
The UTEP two-step. Come on, Doc.
Oh, I forgot about Tim. Oh.
Reggie Miller, man. Of course, Ray Allen. We're looking at two guards and stuff, right?
Yeah, man.
It's a long list.
Clay. I mean, you can't really put Clay in that because you got Clay and Steph as the dynamic duo. You can't just. I mean, I don't see how you. I don't know, man. It's difficult to really put that in perspective.
It really is, and
I forgot about Byron Scott.
So here's the thing about Byron. I like Byron. Byron just did not. He was more off the bench cat. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, that Joker was a good wing man. You talking about somebody you can pass the ball to and he finna shoot it?
But it's an all-time great. I couldn't put him there, and I don't even think he would put himself there.
I was a Laker fan. Because I love what those guys did when it came to not just Showtime, but Magic got everybody involved. He got Green involved. He got Thompson involved. He got everybody involved, and that's one of the cool things I loved about it. But I was always jumping teams, so I was going from LA to Chicago, from Chicago to Orlando. You know, when they got mad, when Orlando got Shaq and Penny and Nick Anderson and Scott Skiles, I was like,
Nick Anderson.
Hey,
poor Nick Anderson, man. I feel for him.
Hey, man. Triple D. When they got them guys, I was like, yo,
3D. That was my guy, man.
Hey, that to me that was my team. But again, hey, this debate will always be up. We'll always have these conversations because every era changes. So we got to figure it out.
That's true. All right, we're finna get up out of here, man. We had a good conversation. Coming up on Tuesday. We'll have we'll learn everything this year before. It's the Raw before Chamber.
Yeah,
and
man.
Then you got the SmackDown before Chamber and in
Chicago.
Chicago.
See what's gonna be in this box.
Oh boy. I think is it Chris Jericho?
I'm thinking it's either Chris Jericho or they're gonna be trying to brand Royce Keys.
Well, we're gonna find out everything from Friday, Monday, and we'll talk about it then on Tuesday. And NBA is back. We'll see how things are going on. Already injuries is propping up on many players that saying their seasons are done. So we'll get into all of that on Tuesday. We're gonna do some more of this go talk. This ain't over.
Yeah.
By any means.
I don't think it'll ever be over, sir.
And that's what makes it so great.
Part
one. All right, gang. We out of here.
All right, man.
Love.
Peace and hair grease.
Peace and hair grease. We out of here, man. See y'all on Tuesday.
5 o'clock in the morning, cruising down McLaurin. Headed to the crib, eyes heavy, got me yawning. We be on the hustle, gotta get it how we live. It's a fight to feed these kids, I ain't got nothing to give. Fakers call me selfish, quick to put that mad.